Hey, welcome to my channel. My name's Carly and I am a healer, a psychic medium, and I also get given messages from, you can call it intuition, source, spirit, the divine, whatever you want to call it, on my brain. So there was something that came through today, and it was like, at the end of the day, basically everyone needs to heal, whether it be this lifetime or next lifetime or the time after. Spirit, stop, stop. Good girl, stop it. She just had some fish and she's looking for more. Um, so, uh, stop, chill, chill, chill out. Stop it. Stop digging up everything. Stop. Yeah, so at the end of the day, like, everyone needs to heal. So it's like the good people, the bad people, like the light, the dark, like everyone basically needs to heal. So ultimately, yeah, then like I said, whether it be this lifetime, next lifetime, whether it be like you've gone so far dark this lifetime that you just needed to be touched by an angel, and when I say touched, it's like that could literally just mean an interaction or like a meeting with an earth angel. If you don't believe in angels, then just call it them people that make you feel really good, you know. Like the ones that you meet and you're just like, whoa, feel really good around you, and you just make my mood feel better, and you're very healing and blah de blah. Don't have to put a label to it. And because at the end of the day, right, it's like if the absolute, say, the worst of the worst are not healed and don't heal, then there's like no point, because it carries on and on and on and on, right? And it's like anyone who is acting in that worst energy, and I say it like that because I don't really want to label it like dark, bad, good, worst, great. It's just like different types of traumas, people, shadows, blah de blah. And basically, if, yeah, so the people that are acting in that energy, it's, you know, when you meet someone and you're like, oh, I really like them, and then say something happens at a later date and you're like, I would never have thought that from them. And this can be good or bad, you know. And this can be because of the different energies and the complexities of the different people. So it's like you can have someone with the most beautiful soul, right, that has just been through so much, and they've been through so much that they've actually then created this, especially if someone's got a really good heart and then they've been through a lot. Okay, so it's like they will normally people please and take the hit a lot. And this is that person where you say, for example, you get someone where they're beautiful, and they just get pushed to their limits, and they go and do something really kind of not aligned, and sporadic and very out of character. This is because this isn't their character. This is because they've been pushed to their absolute max. This is because so that person with the good heart has been pushed, probably been abused, beaten, or whatever, from birth or whatever too. Then that's happened, so that's accumulated to negative energy, and especially if they've held it together as well. Okay, so it's like, say for instance, they've taken a beating, they've had this, they've had abuse, then they've had toxic relationships, then they've had this and they've had that, and then because they've had that, then the universe just keeps showing them what they've already had, and because their self-worth is like really low, then they just keep attracting the same thing, then they get more of that, and then they've created this dark energy in their heart space, in their head, heart and hara, in their whole energy, maybe in their womb or the area as well, or like for the man, you know, whatever area. And basically they've now accumulated all of this trauma, which then creates toxic energy in the body, which then creates a shadow self, which then creates triggers as well, which then creates the ego, jealousy, like all of these toxic things, especially if you've got stuff from past life in the mix with that as well, right? And then all of a sudden you've got this person who you know they're actually a nice person, and you know that their soul is nice, okay? And then there's some wonky energy and things happen and you're like, what? Like, and it just doesn't make sense. Something doesn't fit. And that's because now that in their energy, this, whether you believe these wordings or not, you can use your own words to this. So you now have a person with huge trauma, with toxic energy, with patterns, that learned patterns and behaviors. They then have distorted beliefs. They probably had body dysmorphia, they have mental health, they have everything, you know, all of that in the mix. And the suppressed stuff then creates an actual entity within itself, okay? It can then create this whole dark entity, and this pain energy that gets trapped can create a whole, you could call it a demon, you can call it dark energy, you can call it trauma, whatever you want to call it, is now manifested into this whole other, it could be another personality. So this is where Jacqueline Hyde, is it not Jacqueline, Jekyll and Hyde, right? That's when you get like the two there, and that's when you could have someone that has like two different faces, or like this, and then on the other side they're just a completely different person. And then if you mix into the mix with that drugs, alcohol, or anything else, and all of a sudden that shadow comes up, and all of a sudden that toxic energy comes up, and all of a sudden they blank out because they can't handle life, right? And then they've kind of like tried to drink it out, drug it out, and with that then brings up this other energy, which is no longer that person anymore. Mix it with a lot of pressure, mix it with this, that, and the other, and all the pressures of life as well, and boom, you've got a whole different character. Spirit, 1 second. No, good girl, well done. Well done, well done. Good girl for leaving it. And then it's pulling apart my bin. And then you've got like this whole other like entity that has then kind of embodied your friend, associate, person, work colleague, whatever it is. So then with this, whether you believe in this bit or not, it's up to you. There are like then negative kind of energies floating about. You know, in life we have light and dark, negative, blah, 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 all of that. In spirit you have that too, and it's just the same as like real life, but it's just over here a bit in another dimension, okay? And then with that you can then get little attachments too. And then some people that then get labelled with schizophrenia, psychosis, could be going through a spiritual awakening at the same time as well, and are possibly hearing voices, but they could be having a negative narrative within their body too that they're listening to, and all of a sudden there's no intuition as well, and all of a sudden there's resentment, this, that and whatnot, and you put all of that into the mix and you got a whole muddle, mixed up, beautiful little like soul that is in a right mess, okay? And that is when you kind of go, whoa, and then ultimately breakdowns. And you know, actually a breakdown is probably the best outcome, to be fair. You have to have breakdowns to break through, and if they have breakdowns, that's actually one of the better things then for them to actually act out of this. Because then sometimes, so I've managed to heal a lot of my stuff, like a lot. I'm very nearly at the end of this chapter for my healing journey. I've been on it a long time, and there's been like times where the energy has been so intense that I've needed to clear, that if you don't have awareness to this as well, you become it. Like, you become it, and that's it. Like, when I had to see doctors years ago for the things that I'd been through, they were like, the thing that has saved you is your awareness to this. I could literally diagnose myself with everything that was going on and researched it to the absolute max. I then had a psychotherapist for a while too, and learned everything. I picked apart everything that I'd ever been labelled, every bit of mental health, everything I'd ever been through, and I asked the questions why. And I actually was lucky enough that there was me, and then I actually managed to somehow have an awareness where I could see me and see what I was doing and understand my symptoms and understand why, and pinpoint exactly when and why this happened and why I acted like that, because I pulled myself apart asking why am I like this, why do I act like this, why is this like that, why da 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 da, and I questioned myself and everything I'd ever known, and what was normal and what was not normal, blah de blah. And yeah, but at some points, if I didn't have that awareness, which I'm sure a few people do not, then the energy would have just taken me over and I would have become my trauma. Because if you don't heal it, you become it. Okay, at some point you may think, oh, okay, I'm all right now, but then if you haven't addressed it and you've suppressed it, it will come up at a later date. It will bubble up, like it will need to be seen and even sometimes just heard and understood. Your inner child as well sometimes just needs to you to understand what you've been through and what you might be pushing down. Do you know what I mean? So then yeah, so yeah, yep. So yeah, at the end of the day, if everybody doesn't end up like healing, and say like the people that have gone through the worst that have then become, you know, something that's not quite nice, then ultimately they're going to keep on doing that to other people, because then hurt people, and they just carry on the trauma and trauma and trauma and trauma, and ultimately it's just creating more. So until we can all get to on the same page where, okay, we might not want to do the work, but we need to do the work, and then get everyone there at least trying with the intention, because the universe listens. Hey, no, don't do that. Yeah, so the end, that just came through. I just wanted to explain that. I got a couple of other little bits that I'm going to do. I'm going to do another video. Have a nice day.